Right, hello everybody. Welcome to Sand Patch Saturday. Even though this is Friday evening, I'm going to go ahead and get this service knocked out, recorded for Saturday, just so that I have the evening time or the whole day basically to kind of just relax, get caught up on homework, a few other things. So anyway, we're gonna get in here, get the AC 4400 set up. We're gonna do some coal loading. It's going to take about 40 minutes, although it'll probably take a little bit longer than that because it's going to be very slow going. So we'll get in here. We're going to get the alternate locomotive colors here. There we go. So let's see. I'm going to find it again. There it is. So let's get in here. Get this set up and get this coal loaded, and then we'll park it and then we'll be done. So hopefully everybody's having a good Friday night. I am for sure, even though it's still a little bit chilly. Had a nice big bowl of clam chowder and for dinner watched Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, one of my favorite movies, Star Trek movies. That and Star Trek 6 are my favorites. 4 is a distant second, but yeah, 2 and 6 are my all-time favorites. It was kind of nice seeing it again and reminiscing, seeing it when it came out, and the idea of Spock being dead, what was going to happen, and all that. So let's get the reverser and forward. Let's get the brakes set up first. F3 cut in. F4 for lead. F6 to change. There it is, right there. Everything's all changed over. And then F8 to exit. Now, if we look at right here, there's a speed control there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the locomotive up there to near our loading area, which is, it's not very far, but I want to get a little bit closer, and then we'll get the speed control on, and we'll just kind of cruise it on through, because it's imperative. Look at those colors. Look at that. Look at that for a moment. That looks. I kind of like this blue and light gray. It contrasts very nicely with the yellow and everything. But the key to this, of course, is that we want every single one of these loaded 100%. And if you go through too quickly, you're going to find yourself having to back up, and it's going to make everything take even longer. So we're just going to go ahead and pull up there just a bit, and then we're going to get going here. There it is. That's kind of important. Let's make sure all of our bits of everything that we need on here is on. There we go, gauge lights. Alright. We're not going to worry about the alerter or anything, so we're just going to get going here. We've got 4 of these AC 4400s, it looks like, pulling all this coal. Yeah. We got 4400. I got 144. That 3-8s actually. Sunny day here on the routes. I forgot I was gonna do snow, but that's okay. We're already underway, so we'll get it done. I'm sure Sand Patch has gotten their fair share of snow over the past week or so, so that's okay. Now you can try if you want to spend the time just throttling or feathering the throttle basically. You can do this without setting up the slow speed situation like we have here, that speed control. It will take a little bit longer, and it does lead to the possibility of you not filling your coal up 100% for each cart, for each coal car. I think, based on my experience on this route, about 2 miles an hour, give or take, is the roughly the best speed to do this. Anything beyond that, if you, I thought initially it was 3 miles an hour, but it's got to be slower than that, because if you don't, it's going to completely, you're going to be off, and you won't get your full points when you do it, if you don't fill those up completely. Oops. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to stop here, and we're going to get this set up here. So we're going to go F, or just below F5 is our speed control, and then so we're going to go just a little bit of an increase, so F3. It's not taking it. Alright, so should try this. Oh, target speed. Okay, now we're going to decrease it by 1, 2, 3. Alright, so it should be that. There release our brakes. So it shouldn't go over 2. That's our goal here. So it should, you could see it on the thing there, it shouldn't go over 2. Alright, so it's on now. So we're just gonna, when we go through, so there it goes. All right, it's gonna kind of take care of itself. It should. And that's the great thing about the 4400. It has this automated system that once you set it up, you know, kind of like with the brakes and everything, it's one less thing you have to really worry about. So now we just got to get these 4 locomotives, this AC 4400 with 3-8s. I mean, that's a lot of locomotive power right there. So that's pretty awesome. You can hear the, let's turn that on just to be safe. You don't need the lights on the cab or anything. So we're gonna watch. What I like to do with this is just I go from car to car just to make sure that I don't miss any kind of making sure that everything's up 100%. Now that red's way over yonder. So this is where we're at right here on this mine. Got all those cars to fill. And then there's the main line there. Way, there's the yard that we normally go to for coming down the major part of the that's all the way over Maryland. We're here in Pennsylvania in this part. But we end up in Maryland. So it's going to take a bit of time. Hopefully it's something that if you do want to do this on this route, use the tools that that the game gives you to complete the task. See? Alright, so what we already have, right? We had that one went bad, one's already only 90, it was like 99%. So we're going to go ahead and just back up here and get that filled up real quick before we continue. Oops. So we may have to adjust that even lower than Alright, so that one's good. Alright, so let's go ahead and adjust that speed again. So we're going to go about half of that. Oops. 87. So let's do it that way. Alright, so it's going to go ahead and take us up to that point. So even two miles an hour is, or even just below that's a little bit slow. So I figured by this we should be good for the rest of them. But we'll monitor it to make sure that we don't miss anything. We want everything to be 100%. That's why I always figure whatever time frame that they give you for sand patch grade, I always figure it's going to take a bit longer than that. So there we go, that's all set. So let's see how we do on this fully empty one. All right, looks like we've got our sweet spot right here. So we don't want we're going to go ahead and take a little bit more off of that. I think 0.9 is just perfect, because what usually will happen is I'd rather it be filled up by about here, where I'm at by the X. If it's getting, I don't want to get it too close to that edge where it's just barely, I have to worry about whether or not it's going to fill up, hit that 100 before it hits the edge of the truck, the car there, because that'll cut off the it'll cut off the dump there, the loader. So yeah, right where it is, that's perfect. Now again, I know this isn't like the sexiest thing in the game. Pardon my, my analogy, but it's not. It's, everybody's wanting more, going fast, and all that. It's not. But it's important to well, if you like this sort of thing, it's important to try to get to do it correctly, so that you get your services done, whatever. That's ending right by that C. Good. Yeah, there's no way, if you're going to do this properly, it's going to take, look, we've only got how many filled up now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, essentially filled up, and we're only 20 minutes in, and we've got all this behind us. So yeah, 44 minutes is not or 40 minutes to do this is, I don't think, is what it might have said, 40 or 45. I don't think we're going to get all these done in the next 25 minutes. Well, we started a little bit before I started streaming, before we actually got in here, so. So we did see some new shots today of the Arosa line, one of the new lines that's coming to the game. Looks pretty nice. Looks like it's good. It's not going to be a fast service either. It's we're gonna climb up this huge, pretty steep hill to get to the top there. But it looks like it's going to be very picturesque. Lots of nice scenery, especially if you have the snow on. It's going to be a very nice route with the weather. If you have like a snowy situation, it's going to be really nice. So looking forward to that. All looks good. Now, even with the power thing set, I can give it a little bit more power to kind of get it to speed up once it is loaded. That car is loaded. I can kind of get it to move forward just a smidge faster. But yeah, Rosa line looks like it's going to be really neat. I think they're doing passenger and possibly some freight. I don't know much more about the route other than what they've shown us in the pictures that they released. But looks like it's going to be a pretty neat experience. Something, just another challenging situation to overcome. Especially with the wheel adhesion in the game that they added on. Trying to go up that hill, especially if it's icy, that sort of thing. It's going to be pretty interesting, I think. But the coal mine is over there, so this conveyor belt basically takes it from the mine up over, puts it in here, and then there's a mechanism, I guess, that once the car gets to a certain point, it triggers the release of the coal into the car, or that it at least gives that appearance in the it's a bit automated, I think, for this. Maybe we can't go all the way up there, unfortunately. We can't zip up on there on the camera to kind of see how this works, but essentially that's what's there. I don't think when you're running around doing collectibles, like, I know you can kind of, there's no way you could really, there's a fence there, so you can't come around and go up the steps and climb up to the top of the tower there, unfortunately. Slowly making our way here. Yeah, but I figured this would be something different because it's something that maybe most streamers would want to do a stream for. But you know, if you're looking for information about Sandpatch or trying to figure out how to do something like this, well, now you kind of know. And you know, use the tools that the game gave you to complete it. Don't try to. I know it's easier to think that you can, and you could theoretically do it on your own, in a sense of, you know, just paying attention to your speed and watching. But you have to also kind of be here, watching your percentages to make sure you get 100% each one. Um, Now, it seemed like I'm trying to get a good spot here to see. Oops. Oh. Now, see, the other interesting thing too is if you notice the uh, the percentage doesn't the percentage only goes up if the car is moving. So if it's not moving, even though in real life obviously it would fill, but it would overfill, you know, just in that spot, kind of. So this kind of does kind of blend it out, so to speak. You know, I think I've talked about this before, but I'll say it again. That's the great thing about this game. There's so much to do, in all honesty, uh, that it's easy to kind of forget, or you know, or overlook things like this. You know, everybody wants to do the fast services, and I don't know why that is. Like, it never. Uh, you know, like even when I used to play like Destiny, for instance, or the Division, everything was about how fast could you complete the like your dailies or your weekly tasks to you know, get some sort of special uh, reward for completing all those things for the day or for the week. And it was always about getting it done as soon as possible. But then it was like, okay, now what do I do? You know, I mean, I've got so I don't think I've ever. Uh, I know I did it on Train Sim World 2020. I think I did almost all the services on uh, the Peninsula Corridor, right? And but because that was just my favorite place, or you know, my favorite route because it's home. But what do you do then after you do all, you know? Um, yeah, I guess you could master another route, but why not I'm of the opinion, of course, it's people can play the game however they wish, but why not mix it up? I guess it's easier to focus all on one route, but you'd have to have for a route like Sandpatch Grade, you'd have to have a lot of free time to complete all, and they're not very fast. It's you're talking about 2 hours easily. In some cases, even longer. I think that when I did one service, it was almost 3 hours it took to complete it. So it's I don't I probably would be very kind of wouldn't feel very happy about the route after a day of just 2 hour services. It's not doesn't seem very exciting, to be honest. But for some people, it's they prefer that. But I try to mix it up, even if I buy the other routes, the other DLC when it comes out. Oops, a little too fast there. It'll slow down. So, it'll work itself out. I'll just kind of put it into a rotation. Of course, I'll focus on a new route when it first comes out, get all the training done, and maybe try to get some scenarios done. But I'd prefer to kind of just have that ability to, I just put it into rotation and start doing services on it. And, for Clinchfield, it'd just be another American route to work on Mondays. And Arosa would just kind of go fit in with Oakville, LGV Mediterranean, and Arosa would just be kind of in their own little world. And then King Creek would be another American route. We've got one more German route coming as well, and then we've also got some locomotives. We still got stuff coming for the Southeastern High Speed. Let's just see, out of curiosity. There's our last car way down here. Interesting, it doesn't have that the little device at the end for warning for that's the tail end. They put it, I think, here or something. It flashes. It's got a blinking red light on the end. So we're gonna once we get all these loaded up, it'll tell us there's a siding way over. So we're gonna probably pull it up to here. That's where we're going to head. So we get a little bit of time on the route too. But yeah, it should be somewhere around there, that siding. No. So that's how we'll complete the service. We'll take it up there, park it, and then we're done. That's the Yoder siding. So yeah, there's no way we're going to fill all those cars in 10 minutes. So yeah, they're a bit, not that I'm calling Dovetail liars, but they're a bit, I think, disingenuous with the amount of time it actually takes to complete things on a route like Sandpatch Grade, especially. I think they underestimated it to not scare players away, I guess, maybe, because it's a bit of a daunting thing to think that you're going to sit through 2 hours. Now you can, of course, save your progress. Like if I couldn't do all this in one sitting, and that's a bit, I think, unreason. Unless something terrible happens, I should be able to complete all this in one sitting. But you can stop halfway. You could, if you're doing a service on this route, you could stop right about, I guess here, or even there, right? If you start here and you go all the way to there, you can, there's, matter of fact, well, let's see, I think there's a siding, or at some point there's a place where it does kind of open up. But either way, you could save it. You could stop right there. It's not going to penalize you for stopping there. You could just save the game and come back to it later and finish it off. If 2 hours, if you figure you do an hour's worth, do an hour's worth, then come back to it, later that day or the next day or whatever. But just know, if you save, go to another route and save, you're going to overwrite your Sandpatch data, I believe. So it's not like it saves it specifically for the route, I don't believe. Maybe that's something they should work on, so that people can play different routes, if they have to save that and then go back to the save data from their time on Sandpatch. Still got still more than half to fill. We're getting there. But yeah, I figured it'd be easier to do this tonight, and I've got the energy for it, and still kind of amped from watching Wrath of Khan. So, yeah. I was going to do a double feature and watch Search for Spock, but yeah. Oh, now we're slightly going downhill where we're at. So that 0.1% downhill is where the locomotive is, not where this is still a flat spot. So we have to be cognizant of that fact. We don't want the speed to build up on its own either, and we start having to worry about it impacting the loading of our coal cars. Right now we're doing pretty good speed-wise, I think. So we're just going to have to keep an eye on that too. Now that red light is right... Where is it in comparison to the... I would figure it's probably right... Oh, there it is. So that's 2.5 miles away, although it doesn't seem like it, does it? It seems like it's... But again, that's as the crow flies, as they like to say. So I think that's a bit That 2.2 miles isn't like a legitimate uh, distance. It's the point of our locomotive straight across over to the red light right there, I think. So it's probably a lot longer than that, actually. Still can't believe the AI sabotaged me earlier today on LGV Mediterranean. It still puzzles me how it got away with that. But yeah. Oh, it was fun service either way. Even though our return trip to Avion was late, but it was good. Something different. So yeah, what I might do Sunday after I get some finishing up my homework and get stuff turned in, I will do I might record Mondays and maybe even Tuesday's video on Sunday. But it won't be we won't call it a double route Sunday. It'll be broken up. It'll be American route Monday and UK route Tuesday. And not sure. I think I'd like to go to we'll do Long Island Railroad on Monday, and then for Tuesday we'll do we will do Southeastern High Speed. Yeah, we'll do that for Tuesday. Ooh, a little bit more significant downhill now. Almost at the halfway point on the circle for loading up. I think probably these two, and then we should be about halfway done. Yeah, we'll do that on Sunday, and then maybe Tuesday night, Tuesday afternoon or evening time, I'll record Wednesdays and Thursdays German routes, and Friday will be on Oakville. Yeah, because we'll do that. But in 2 weeks' time, I won't be. There won't be any videos for. I'll have to record them ahead of time for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I won't be around to do those. Won't be available, so. Alright, so that still was right about the C. It was almost between the C and the S of CSX there. So, yeah, now we've got almost a 0.5% downhill. We're at the halfway point of loading these, and we're already at 45 minutes, so this is going to take some time. So I appreciate my one viewer sticking around. So this is the most exciting thing to watch, but Yeah, that's a nice chill thing too. We're not worried. You know, we do have to keep an eye on our speed, of course. Um, excuse me. Um, but overall, it's things are working out fairly well. So um, yeah, this is working out pretty good. Even at 0.6%, not even a full mile an hour, just over. It just popped up to 7 now. I think we're okay. It's if we go above 1 or 1.5. I think 1.5 we're looking at possibly missing our 100% goals here for each car. But as long as it doesn't go above 1, as long as we stay fairly good like this, then I think we're going to be okay. We should have no issues. And I could always throw the brake on if I have to, if it's getting to the point where all right, so now it's shifting. Yeah, we're gonna. I mean, let's just see. We're just gonna have to keep an eye on it. If I'm surprised that it hasn't put its own brakes on a bit just to take a smidge off of the. All right, so we still got a bit of room to. Okay, now we're at 1 mile an hour. I'm gonna go ahead and use the power brake. See if we can't get this to bring the speed down a bit. No, it's not. Okay. At least we got the cars moving again. So we'll kind of let. Well, I was going to try to let gravity take effect, but. Right, so now it should kind of. Why the power brake's really not doing much to. Oh, now it is. Okay. I figure this 0.6 would probably be just about perfect. So we're slowly, that's significantly, we're getting there. Yeah, 0.6 seems to be that, it's the ideal speed, I think, for this. So I'm trying to plan a trip to New York City, maybe in April or May. I may wait till after the semester's over. I like to get out to New York Penn Station and do a bit of train watching out there at New York Penn, and maybe ride the M7s, or I think they even have newer local, stuff to ride on out there. Kind of like to get out there and do some of that maybe. I'd like to get down to Baltimore to the train museum there. They had just completed a restoration on a really nice, like a diesel electric locomotive, if I remember correctly. So I have to go down there and check that out. It's kind of hard to, because I do live near the Norfolk Southern line. I've been trying to monitor. I downloaded an app where you could hear like their communications, but it's hard to determine when they're going to be coming through the area. I don't have like a map of their routes or which direction they're coming from or anything like that. And there's not, I mean, theoretically there's a halfway decent place to kind of train watch not far from where I live, but it doesn't seem very safe at the moment, so I'm not going to take my chances. But the funny thing is, let's see, I go, look at that. I'm under the coal. So let's see where. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this camera all the way back up to the front here. Since we've got more than halfway, we're almost at the 3/4 way point here. We're going to go all the way up to the locomotive, and then what we're going to do is we're going to work our way forward from the back, the tail end. hear the locomotives. Alright, so I'm going to work forward from the tail end here to the... Oh, we don't have too much more to go. That's not too bad. Oh, I was going to say, uh-oh, we missed one. Alright, so they're still doing, they're still coming in at 100%, so we're getting there. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 more to fill up, and we're done. Not too bad. And what we'll just need to do then is get back into the lead cab there, and we'll turn off the speed control, and then be able to get over to our parking spot there on the Yoder siding a little bit quicker. Yeah, I have to say, I was just kind of thinking about today. uh, Today was one of those just crazy days. Starting off, of course, with the sabotage, as I call it, of the our second service on LGV Mediterranean, and then I had to kind of go over um, dealing with my financial. Um, Payment for this semester for school. I get money from the government because I served in the military for a number of years, and luckily a person had called me. They thought, I'm really thankful. This person went out of their way uh, to ensure. They thought when they were looking at my situation for this semester that I was going to have a debt still incurred from the school, and how was I going to cover that? And thankfully that turned out to not be the case. Their calculations were thankfully way off, and discovered that no, I was going to be covered for the full semester. I wasn't going to have a debt hanging over my head or anything as the weeks went on, or anything crazy like that. So, but it was just a very stressful thing, because it was like, when somebody tells you, possibly, oh yeah, you're still going to owe the school $20,000. What? That's not what I was led to believe. So yeah, it was. But they had my best interest at heart. So I'm thankful for that. That this person who works for the VA was looking out for me. But it was like once I got off the phone with that person, I was like, oh man, that was a pretty stressful situation to think about. How was I going to pay that debt to the school? And I'm going to just throw the brakes on here just a bit. I'm going to get stopped here. Oh boy. Wow, that was kind of weird. Okay, now we have to worry about we're almost done. Now I would wonder, how do they I sure doesn't take much to get this to don't do a complete stop, even though. So the locomotive's moving, but it just finally stopped, so I'm going to add a little throttle here. how do they tell? You know, what's the criteria for a? Just start using the independent brake, I think maybe. Oops. It's backing up now all of a sudden. I mean, I don't know what the criteria is for a full load of coal. I think the independent brake might be the way to go. That probably releases a little bit quicker than the regular brake. Alright, we're down to the last 4 right there. Almost there. Alright, barely made that one. Oh, that was very close to... Alright, here we are. Last car. All those 100%. I like it. go. Let's see. Alright, so we are good to go. All of our Alright, so we're going to turn off the speed. Let's just make sure we are completely off. Yep. Alright. We are all set then. Four massive engines getting that locomotive power down. Man, how could you not like that? How could anybody call that boring or anything? All that horsepower. Alright, so we're coming around the curve there. We're going to go past, up this, I'll join right there. And our stopping point is right there. Kind of what we were looking at earlier. Thank you again to my one viewer for sticking around. If you're my one returning viewer, thank you for coming back. If you're new, welcome. Hopefully you learn something new or kind of reinforce some things that you've forgotten about the route. Either way, it's all good. Gotta get a picture of this. I think I have pictures of the Dash 8, but I do kind of like these, everything in this light gray and blue with the yellow. I think this looks cute. But that's just me. And I'm glad they all have the same. It's matching, it's not. My locomotive is different than everything else is. So. Right, so we got up the speed there. So we were at the Shaw mine. So there's a couple different mines on the route here, but this is one of them. I don't have the, oh, there's the bell. Of course. life wouldn't be a complete service without a little bit of speeding, huh? So yeah, it was a good day. I'm very thankful that I was able to get my everything kind of situated, or figure out the my financing for this semester. And next semester, the fall, is a bit there's some uncertainty, but I've got the summer to kind of figure it out. I think how I'm going to pay for everything. Certainly, I'm hoping I can get high enough grades that I can apply for scholarships. Don't want to take out student loans that I can foresee myself living long enough to pay all those back, or getting a job that would help cover those costs. There we go. Should have done that when we started. There we go. That looks better. I like it when it's more professional. I should have been going this uphill since we're just kind of trudging along here at 12 miles an hour. Looks like maybe a small farm area here. Yeah, 3.3 miles to Yoder Siding. Just kind of make our way there. Slightly uphill here, but get those large locomotives fired up there. I really would like to get up there, up to this area, and do some train watching, maybe when it's not too cold. Although I think they only have like 4 services. The traffic is kind of sporadic, but I'd still go to, just to kind of say that I've been there. But that's just me. We got this nice, look at this bridge. Old steel, weather worn. Still solid as a brick. Steel that's solid as a brick now. Yeah, look at that. That's just. Can you imagine, like, live like right there, huh? You had your house right there. You could just, as the trains came from the mine or something, or it was, maybe that connects it to a different freight area or whatever. You could just watch from your backyard. You could just sit and watch the trains go by. It'd be pretty amazing. But I imagine the first few times, like, when something like this comes rumbling through the area, all this horsepower is rumbling through. I mean, it's got to make your house shake. Maybe make your teeth rattle too while you're at it. Going on over here. Yeah, this is totally worth it. I'm glad I did this. It's not fast service or like, we were just trudging along there barely a mile an hour. But yeah, good choice to do it tonight. It'd be fun, being an engineer on this route. Just kind of lean out the window a bit there. Nice cool air. Be in the summertime. Really nice scenery. Still early enough, maybe I will watch, I don't know, I might skip Search for Spock. I generally skip 3 and 5 in those movies. Just weren't, 3 was important, I guess, but 5 was just such a bad movie. Just watch 6 instead. Radio, hear somebody talking on the radio. Nice. Now, you can, and I was just thinking about this as I was looking at the locomotives, and I'm going to get another picture. I could have, before we got started, I could have ran through and set up all the lights for each locomotive before we got started. But I would think that's something that they would do, all the safety lights, whatever need to be on. Like some of them are already on, like the little light there on the platform. Step lights are all on. But yeah, I don't know. I guess if it was nighttime, I would have done something like that. But I can't imagine them loading coal at night. It seems like something they would do during the day to make sure that that's probably the safest way to do it. You got a yellow coming up here. Kind of crossing over that switch area there. Get onto this line. I don't think we're just going to stay on the side until we get there. We're just going to park there for our destination, and then essentially then what would happen is there would be a run around. I'd probably take my locomotive and this Dash 8, and we would go to the other end. These last two would be the Banker locomotives to go up the grade there. Yeah, it wouldn't be too bad with 2 Dash 8s in the back. Dash 8 and 4400 at the front. But not that it would make it go any quicker, or we wouldn't be able really to this to make much sense. I laid off the throttle because I thought we would be coasting downhill, and I didn't want to put myself in jeopardy of speeding. It's almost like I'm going uphill. I think, I could be wrong, if I had to guess, this seems like this would be like some sort of a GPS tracker maybe, so that CSX knew where its locomotive, it's probably got like a number identifier, like 254 here, tied to that. I'm guessing that's what this is. That's what it seems like. So that they always know where locomotive 254 is on the route. And in case something were to happen, they would be able to look at the last location of the GPS signal. Got that nice bridge up there. Look at that. I honestly do not know for the life of me how anybody could reasonably call this reasonable. I know it's not the fastest yet. Even if you took a fast locomotive on here, you would still be subject to the line speeds. So it's not like you could take the LGV Mediterranean, put it on here, and run a service from one end to the other. I mean, you could theoretically, but it's not. Try to get 200 miles an hour out, on the line, possibly, or even 180. Alright, we're almost there. See, even this took. We're almost at an hour and a half. We still got a little bit longer to go. I'm always perplexed. Maybe that's just me. I'm always perplexed how people find this route so boring. It just must be the lack of excitement. It's not very fast or whatever. That's the only thing I can think of. But other than that, I mean, look at the scenery. Yeah. I guess when I was young too, I didn't have an appreciation for nature. I remember we used to take a trip took trips to the Muir Woods, the redwood forest there, just north of San Francisco. I was like, but I guess when you get older, do you have a bit more appreciation for nature? Maybe, I don't know. Even when it's computer generated nature. I definitely would like to visit this area one day, just to see it in person. I've heard that they're fairly welcoming of train fans to the area. I mean, it's one of those places that most people like to go. You know, the horseshoe curve, and you know, I guess even if you play games like this, it's, you know, you kind of know what sand patch grade is. We go 35, and just a smidge later, we're right back down to 20 miles an hour. This route definitely keeps you on your toes, but yeah. I'll worry about getting on the brakes as we get a little bit closer to that 20 mile an hour marker. Yeah, it's been fun today, sure. But I'll get this loaded up here, premiere tomorrow morning on my YouTube channel. If you look for my name, it's the same. I think it's on here. But yeah, if you just go YouTube my name, Rob Breimer, it will take you to my YouTube channel. There's also links to my Flickr account, over 7,000 pictures that I've taken over the years. And then there's also a link to my Redbubble account. There's pictures on there that you can purchase as shirts or posters, or there's a whole bunch of merch on there. And my SoundCloud that has, I thought, it has a majority, not all of them. Somehow the recordings got mixed up or something. There's only clips of some of my radio shows, but most of them are in full length, so you get the music and all that. When I took my radio production class a couple years ago at the community college I graduated from, and I don't know, Monday evening I do have the Zoom meeting with the station manager for the campus radio station. So we'll see how, what they would like for me to do, or what opportunities are there. I don't know if I would have any kind of, they would just be, the recordings would be the property of the school, and I wouldn't have any ability to share those outside of campus radio station, probably website, whatever. So yeah, I'll have to inquire about that. Would I own the recordings? Kind of like an intellectual property sort of thing, or does the school have would they be owners of and I wouldn't be able to share any other way with anybody, like I did with SoundCloud. I would record it and I would load it up later to SoundCloud. I don't know if I could do it on the sly, and as long as nobody finds out that I'm doing that, then no harm, no foul. But again, I don't know how that would work. But I'm hoping to do music, of course, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. again if that's going to be a possibility given my remote location from the campus and the radio station there. So I may be kind of stuck with doing podcasts or something, but we'll see. But if I do a podcast, hopefully it'll be something interesting. A subject that maybe people would want to hear about or something. So, but anyway, we're coming up to our destination here. Stop here at the Yoder siding. The entire train is off of the main line there. We'll be coming into the location here. We'll stop and that will be it. Of course, we don't want to go blowing through this our stop marker. I don't want to have wasted almost an hour and 40 minutes of time and then suddenly, bam, I blow the red light, fail the service. So yeah, that wouldn't be good. Be a bit embarrassing, to be honest. There we go. Let's see what we end up with. A bronze? What? Oh, good Lord. Wow. Anyway, all right. Well, that's fine. It is what it is. I don't know what more we could have done to make sure we got anything else, but anyway. All right, that's it for tonight, or for tonight and Saturday. I will see you on Long Island Railroad for Monday's American Route Monday. Take care. Have a great